Somebody say local.
Greetings to all the family, friends and fans of DAsportsVYBEZ. We are here with another legendary coach of multiple sports in Dominica. He has done a lot to mold and develop Dominica sports, Mr. EMMANUEL LOBLACK, and he's going to take us through his career from inception till now. So Mr. LOBLACK, take us from primary school, please.
Well, thank you. My involvement in sports started from boys' school. But in those days, they used to have games they call the Empire Days, the Empire Days, before we became independent. And there, I started doing comedy. Well, it used to be in the gardens. And here we were selected. I came there, I did a number of events. I did everything. I remember about 15 events on that day.
Gardens as in where he is
right
right now?
Yeah, gardens, before, and a lot of events. And then we went into the boys' school was very, very competitive, Boys' school wasn't easy. To make a boys' school team, it was very hard. Very, very hard to make whatever thing, you had to be there. You don't think that you are the best, because it was very, very competitive. And then I went to the St. Mary's Academy, and from there, the sports continued,
Okay, but before you go to the secondary school, let's stay a little bit in the primary school, because we want a little bit of your playing days. So what did you play in
Well, first of all, in the boys' school, athletics, cricket, and football.
Okay.
That was the sport we had in the 60s. It was track, football, and cricket.
Okay, and did you represent the school in all this?
Yeah, well, not represent, but more athletics, because it was not easy itself. It was very, very competitive. I love track and field. Right. Yeah, I love it. I love track and field.
Okay.
It was about track and field is whatever happens, you're alone.
Okay. So you was a very successful. You say you was very successful in track and field in Rosa Boys School.
Rosa Boys School. Doing multi events, all kind of events, throwing, jumping, running. It was good. It was fun.
Any memory of participating in athletics in Rosa Boys School?
Well, it was the Empire Days.
All right.
Yeah, the Empire Days. You had the Empire Days. That was the big sporting event. All right. Before we became independent, you had the Empire Days sports, in the gardens, and it was very. And we look forward to that.
Okay. So now we transit to St. Mary's Academy.
Well, when I went to St. Mary's Academy, there again, the sport took a different level. All right. Okay, a higher level itself, and it was it was track and field. You had first of all, you had every year you had a sports day. A sports day like SMA Grammar School, these two schools in particular, they had their own sports day. And it was, it was something else. It was very, very competitive. Then the cricket, the football, the basketball, and I was very lucky at the time when you had basketball was being played in the SMA. So I started playing basketball, football, much cricket, all right, but football and basketball and track was these three main sports, which I love,
Okay, so at SMA now, did you make the football team in SMA?
Oh yes, we played. First of all, it's very, very interesting. You had the schools competition, all right, the schools competition, and then in those days, the Football Association, you had two divisions. You had the Premier and the second division. We played in the second division. We held the trophy for the second division for 4 consecutive years. 4 consecutive years. The St. Mary's Academy. All right, we held second division trophy.
Could you remember what year that was?
Well,
what period?
When what I can tell is this: when Dominica won the Popham tournament for the first time,
71.
Yeah, 71. We played 6 games with the national teams. All right, 6 practice games, and David Shillingford was the coach.
Okay.
All right, and there are 1 or 2 players from our team that they look like Michael Freeman. All right, that you had Hubert Hector. All right, so you had some, and you also had Solomon in the goal. These young keepers, All right, and it was good. And then after that, we started playing in the second division for Celtics. We played in the second division, and then Kensborough was formed. All right.
But before that, that's football. But what about basketball? You play basketball?
Oh yeah. Well, then come for basketball. I played on the school team. All right, the school team itself. I was on the first national youth team also. We played against Antigua here, I also played I played for Hawks, for Stripe. I played for about 3 different teams. I also made the national team twice in basketball.
Could you give us a few notable names on the basketball team SMA you played together with?
Well, for example, I can tell you one player, sharpshooter, was the former principal, Elwin.
Oh.
All right, Elwin itself, you know, Elwin, all right, former principal. You know, we played, and you had also you had Dave Winston. Okay. All right, but basically the youth team was more or less SMA players.
Okay.
We also played. In those days, the school team, we played in the Premier Division in the basketball team. From basketball, first of all, the game was played in the St. Mary's Academy. And when it became popular, the brothers moved it, they asked the government, and they got themselves land in the Windsor Park. And from there, a court was built, and the game started taking strides, you know, and became more popular basketball. But first of all the basketball game was played in the SMA.
Okay.
All right, in the SM itself, you know.
Yes, and so you made the SMA basketball team as well. So
yes.
The football team, the basketball team.
Yes, basketball
team. What about
team.
the athletics?
Well, athletics, yes. First, I went to represent Dominica. All right, White House School. All right, in things like javelin, long jump, triple jump. All right. Okay. Yes, so White House School, you know.
And then from at what point did you made the national team?
Well, basketball team. When I left school, I made the senior team, the basketball senior team.
From high school, you made the senior team, not the youth team, the senior team.
Seniors, yes, the senior team. Okay. From high school.
Players like who was on that?
Well, the players like you had Neckers, you had all those top shooters, Black, you had Fanso, you had also that lawyer Shillingford, the Rasta man. People forget. When Mr. came back,
national team.
The national team. Oh. Listen to me, he was a guard. When he came back, we saw a number of his dribbling skills, which the referees had problem with him. He's not talking about traveling, but it wasn't about traveling because this crossover, right and left, he was moving, shaking. It was very good. That is my first name again.
Henry
Shillingford. Henry.
Yes.
Yeah, people don't realize Henry was a bad ball. This guy was something else.
Okay. And then in terms of football.
Well, football itself.
National team.
Yes, no, I didn't, but I played for Kens and Kensbro.
Okay.
When we formed this team, Kensbro, and based on the number of players we had, we decided to have 2 teams in the Premier Division, was Kens and Kensbro.
So were you part of the Harlem Kensbro rivalry?
Yeah, oh yes, brother.
Could you give us a
moment? I will tell you that. Then afterwards, we decided to do away with Kens and have one team, Kensbro. All right, and then I played for Kensbro. That this game itself, and I remember throwing this goal, against Harlem, and that was something else, But I got injured in the Windsor Park, not by any player, but I got a bad bung, and that put off my football career itself, because I had a lot of problem. Stopped playing competitive football, and I focused more on basketball and track. All right, basketball and track, Right. I played the odd football game, all right, but I had a serious problem.
Okay,
right?
So in your stint as a player, in terms of individual accolades, any notable ones?
Well, track and field. First of all, track and field was it, That again, most of my honors. I was a decathlete. I look forward to being a decathlete and all. I like multiple sports. Froze, jump, and jump and running sprints. I love that.
Okay, so we'd say that's why you are right.
Yeah, that's why I'm. Yes, I continued helping the kids. Well, also in terms of coaching. If I'm going to go into coaching.
Yes, that's what
all right.
Now.
Yeah, no, into coaching. All right. First of all, with basketball, I coached the police team for its first in the second division. I brought the trophy first for the police, and we had a sad story that one of our key players died. His head he got injured on the court, and instead instead of going to casualty, he went home. And he lay down, and I told him, he's going to seek medical attention. The next day, we found him dead in his bed.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right.
Okay. And what else? What other team did you coach?
National team? I was the trainer.
Trainer of basketball.
Yes, yeah, the trainer. I said to get involved into competitioning, right. Because I find this was an area that was lacking in Dominica, all right? Because sports changing, and they're looking for players to be stronger and faster. It's not just having having skill, but day and age, the player that is stronger and faster going to excel.
In my days, some players will say, "Boy, Lobi is a military coach."
Yeah, you're right. In those days, guys didn't want to listen. I'm very happy now. Guys can understand to be successful in sports, you got to be involved in conditioning. You have to be involved. All is equal. The stronger and the quicker man must win. Okay, and then with football itself, I had this team, Grammar Academites, just SMA and grammar school students combined.
You was there when that team was formed.
I helped, and they called me, they asked me, and I went along with those players, Well, we had our good days and bad days. At the end, I had to leave the team because in terms of risk and discipline, players don't understand that you have to train. All right, we had early successes, and that went up in the players' head,
So that would go back to what he just said in terms of the military.
Yeah, no, but I believe guys became too complacent. Look at me. This to me was the most talented set of young players I ever come across. Guys was unbelievable. They were very athletic.
A few names.
Well, like you had Jeffrey Edmond, Henry. You had Irvin Guy. You had Ian Blanchard. You had
Austin.
Or you had Austin. You had Glenn Etienne in the midfield. All right, Austin. So you can the Labasia brothers, the Toussaint brothers. All right, we had a fantastic team. Now when we left, when the team broke up, they went to Point Michel, they went to Harlem, and reinforced those teams. And Point Michel, for example, became a force to reckon with.
And you said a lot of it has to do with the...
Yeah, obviously, and they tell you that. All right, and I have continued itself in terms of coaching, but my emphasis now is in terms of conditioning with our team sports. All right, because that is lacking. Our players are not strong and fast as before, and that is lacking. Especially when it comes to our women. Our women in football, I have seen their motor movement is very, very poor skills. And more emphasis should be spent on the girls' conditioning. All right? You find that the girls and them, they badge. I saw a number of things false. And that a lot of work has to be done because football is not in our girls' culture. Where the boys are playing every day, sweat. The girls are not like that. All right? So you have a lot of work to do. So that's why you need early intervention to start very early. All right, a lot of playing the ball and working on their motor movements, able to run, jump, and throw. That's going to help our girls.
Okay, and eventually you now doing athletics.
No, then
yeah.
Athletics. Now then I had this club they call Olympians. The Olympians Athletic Club was like I haven't seen any club in Dominica that have been as dominant as how we were in the days of the Windsor Park. The club I had close to about 35 athletes. 35, Junior, the Bino brothers, the Austin, the brothers, Binos, the Austin, and I can go on and on and on. All right, but we were like a family. So we had access to the Windsor Park. We had our weight room there. We had a number of things, and that would help. And we trained 7 days a week.
Wow.
All right, we had a lot of competition, and it wasn't easy.
You
are saying hard.
Yeah.
But what happened?
No, the thing is that guys move on. They move on. And since now, as you can see, since the park closed down, the last 20 years, we have decelerated completely. I've reduced my numbers, and to come training here in the gardens, to me we have retrogressed a lot. I mean to say yes, but it's not the best place to do any training. Presently, last week my top athlete, that is Michelle Davis, got injured here. Wow. All right, so it's off for maybe two weeks. All right, don't know. I'm hoping that he can, but it's not easy for me. And here's not an easy place. The Windsor Park should make available for us. All right, if I can have that thing year-round, there's lots of work that can be done. But I tell you, one of my biggest disappointment here right now is that not having a track, a rubber track, because I can tell you, brother, the kind of talent that have passed in my hands over the years, we could have been big as Jamaica. We are very talented here. Dominica we are very talented in Dominica. Let nobody fool you. I've seen guys up there, just the extra they have.
Facilities.
All right, and that you need a facility. We need to have a weight room where players have access to. You can't build a stadium and we hang with a weight room, brother. And people don't understand, And the problem we have here, people don't understand what it takes to be a successful sportsman or woman. They want you to win. They want you to win, but there are things you have to do. All right? Nutrition, all right, is key. Then, rehab. We need to have a proper rehab center. All right? Over the years, you can see people like Patrick John, Clem, all those guys who got injured, their career, what happened to them? day and age, you've seen players having a fracture, and after 2 months, they're back in playing. We need to have a proper rehab center. It's very, very important. To go forward in sports, we must have a proper rehab center.
Okay. Tell us in terms of the Olympics, on the Olympians.
Olympian.
When was that club formed?
The club was formed in the 80s.
Okay. And could you give us at least in terms of success of athletes that were in that club, in terms of the highest?
Well, first of all, you like people like Bruce Phillip, Hermin Joseph, one of the top female sprinter. You're right. You had the Bino brothers. You had Austin Harris. Even Cedric himself was a member of the club. Cedric, that's where he came from.
Okay.
I took Cedric from boys' school, and I'm moving up. You know, from
okay, so anybody went reach like us? How far?
Well, they reached for the Olympics. You had Dylan Simon. All right. So we can go on and on and on and on. Who have gone on sports scholarships.
Okay. What about?
But you see, just now I'll tell you one thing. You see, when it comes to the sports scholarships, places like Bahamas, for example, Jamaica, Trinidad, what they have a fund which an athlete access. It's very, people don't understand that, you know, your nutrition is key to assist you for preparation. Supplements are very expensive. You need to get those things. Your gym, massage. It is a whole package.
Holistic development.
Yeah, it's a whole package.
Okay, and in terms of, shall I use my train of thought there? The Sports Vibes, and we are here still with Mr. EMMANUEL LOBLACK. So, Coach, are there any athletes that pass through your hands, the coach that are now coaches?
Oh yes, you have Brian Hamilton, Joel, Cedric Harris, Sir Charles. All right. We also have, and the most, our former, that's Quickly Bino, who passed away in the last year. That was a huge blow for us, you know. Huge blow. All right, and he was in the US, and that is a platform for us to see how we can get our athletes, on scholarships, you know. And while he was there, he assisted Dylan Simon of Forward to make he became an international athlete in shot put and discus. All right, and also this young sprinter. I can't get her name now, you know, from down the West Coast. Yes. All right, but I was telling you that, you know, with the what has happened to us also, the international body can assist us, but the government must give the land. All right, the government must pay the part to provide the land, and the international body will assist you in preparing.
So have you, the different
clubs?
Well, not clubs. The Olympic Committee and the association, they have written already. I heard about a piece of thing available in Cochrane. You heard about Cochrane, you know, but movements wise, I haven't seen anything as yet. All right, but all we need, all right, as long as we can get that, you write to the international body, they will assist you.
Okay.
All right. They will assist you, and that is overdue. And what people must understand is this: with athletics, it is not like it's not a team sport where you have a league. The athlete need meets. You need meets to see where you at.
Yes.
And we have a problem the last 2 years getting with our meets, getting Windsor Park, getting Portsmouth. All right, that is two main places. When Windsor Park was available, I can tell you about that. We would have about 8 meets for the year.
So there's a cry for the athletes.
All right, we'll have about 8 meets. It's very important for you to, you just can't just training.
Yes,
you got to compete.
To gauge,
all right,
gauge
yeah.
Athletes.
A footballer, like you have off-season football and so on. They have fields to play, but the athlete needs competition. It's very, very important.
Okay, so as you can see with you've been here training morning and afternoon.
Boy.
Almost every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
But what I noticed is like you only have like at least 3 to 4 athletes.
Well, you see, one thing you must understand about athletics, the beauty of it, it's not a team sport. It's an individual sport. So you don't need a football team or cricket team to be doing that. 3 athletes, 4 athletes, you know, and you have different areas. They are all sprinters.
Okay.
So the area in athletics is specialized. You can specialize to be a sprinter, a long distance runner, a thrower, or a jumper.
Okay. And in terms of what is next for Olympians in terms of competition?
Well, the thing is that first of all, the COVID, slowly coming. So we have been back training since the COVID, and the athletes looking for, well, it's sad, for competition. So right now I resume training and trying to end the season with some high-level quality training. It's very, very important, you know, because it has affected a lot of the athletes.
Okay. And with the level, what you have achieved over the years, I would think that I would expect to see so much more athletes being drawn towards your program.
Well, see, I will tell you one thing is this. Some of the wiser, I call it the wiser athletes who want to move on, they would leave where they are and come and join me.
Okay. What about don't you scout athletes as well?
Well, I do scout athletes. I do scout them, you know. But I tell them, you see, my person, when you join this camp here, you'll be disciplined.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just in closing, I'd just like you to, you know, a word of encouragement to let them young aspiring athletes out there know how important athletics is and why they should be part of it.
Yeah. First of all, you have to appreciate your school days. The first thing you have to do is your school days. You can't be at secondary school and leave the school and you have never played sports in school. Something's wrong with you. You have a sports day and it's very important to get involved in activity at school. All right? It's early. You can't wait when you leave school to get involved in sports. You are very late. You are late. All right? And get involved in sport, especially track and field. Don't be afraid. The more you look at footballers, for example. You look at a footballer as an example, that Cristiano Ronaldo in particular. When he started with Man U, and then he went into a strength coach and a sprint coach. Two things he realized. For to take his game to the next level, he has to be quicker and he has to be faster and stronger. And look at his game today. All right?
So it's attributed to athletics.
Yeah, it's training.
As they say, athletics is the mother of all sports.
Of course, brother.
Okay, so Mr. LOBLACK, we see you're very busy, so we really appreciate at DAsportsVYBEZ, appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with us. And we hope that our fans out there viewing this will be inspired and see some more young athletes joining your program.
Yeah, because we have, I can tell you, we have talent. Though we have a small population, but a very talented nation, that nobody fool you. What we need is facilities, brother. That's all we need, you know. That's what we need.
Thanks very much.
Somebody say